Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Beauty Pop Podcast. I am Victoria.
And I'm Jen.
And today we're going to talk about on-demand hair and makeup, right? This is
so high-tech, isn't it?
So high-tech. On-demand, it makes me kind of think of the Jetsons. Remember when we thought, right, when we were kids and we'd watch the Jetsons and we thought, like, that's how you'd sit on a conveyor belt and your hair and makeup would be done in 2 seconds.
Okay, first of all, the fact that they teased us with that as a possibility of something that could happen in the future, really angry. And the other thing I always wanted from the Jetsons is the ability to not really ever have to pack a suitcase, just be able to like order what you want to have it just delivered into your room, you know, when you travel somewhere. Wouldn't that be nice to just have everything in your closet at your disposal without having to carry it in a suitcase? My dream.
That's what assistants are for. And
that's also what money is for. And I haven't run the lottery yet. So
yeah. So there are one of the housewives. She's the newest one in Beverly Hills this year. I think she's already been fired because she was really boring. But she got $250 million in her divorce. This is Diana. I forget her last name. And she was literally a Bosnian refugee, got out of Bosnia during the war, made it to London, married a stockbroker guy. He amassed a massive fortune. They had no prenup and apparently the nicest divorce in history. So she got $250 million in the divorce. And she now sends her assistants, a whole team, 2 days ahead of wherever she travels. So everything is completely exactly as you described.
Wow.
It's all in the closet. Her outfits are already ready to go. Her hair and makeup team is already set up in an adjoining suite to her room. So she's
got an advanced team. That's how you know you're doing well.
That is like literally that's what she has. She has an advanced team. The only other scenario that I even know of is like if you're the president, you know, the Office of Advance is part of the, Secret Service where they travel a few days ahead to make sure everything is set up and secure. And that's what she has for hair and makeup.
So funny. Gosh, I guess we can dream. It's either, become a Jetson or become a Real Housewife, I guess.
I know. Who would have thought that those would be our best options when we were children?
I know. Or win the lottery. I don't know.
Or win the lottery. Hey, it was out in LA County. You were close, right?
The $2 billion Powerball ticket. I know. Literally sold about 15 minutes away from me. And, it's so funny because I always get angry when I don't win the lottery or the Powerball, but I always forget to buy tickets. I didn't even buy a Powerball ticket.
Oh, you didn't?
I was ticked off. No, and I was ticked off. I'm like, why didn't I win? And I'm like, oh, you ding dong. You didn't even make it out to go buy a ticket.
You wouldn't have gone to the place that sold it though, right?
No, I've never, no.
Okay.
But I do like to.
A gas station or I don't even know what
it was a gas station. Okay. So I do have this thing though, when I drive to Vegas, because, I'm in Los Angeles. So driving to Vegas, used to do it all the time in my 20s and still occasionally, maybe once or twice a year, you go through this little tiny town called Baker because it's always these unfortunate places where people win the lottery. Yeah. It's the only reason that people probably live there is the chance that they might win the lottery. So you go through this terrible town called Baker. There, it's home to the world's largest thermometer, which is true, in Death Valley. And you buy lottery tickets at any gas station around there. I'm telling you, it just ups your odds exponentially. Don't even play a game in Vegas. Just buy a lottery ticket in Baker.
Just take the trip and buy lots of lottery tickets.
Exactly.
Love it. Well, so today we're going to talk about an experience that you had not long ago with on-demand hair and makeup because you are a very fancy lady and you have lots of important events that you have to attend.
I'm a wannabe Jetson.
And host. And so what was the event? Take us through what you did because the company you used is called Priv, right?
Yeah. And it's not the first, it's called Priv, Priv. And it's not the first time that I've used them. Actually, if you're a listener to the podcast, you know that in the first episode of this season, the first 2 episodes, we talked about our big glam night at the Gracie Awards from the Alliance for Women in Media. And I used Priv the night of that gala to do my hair and makeup.
That sounded familiar, actually. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I also used Priv, and no judgments here on the podcast. I got invited to an event at Mar-a-Lago, which is way fancy. And I knew that that's the first time I actually found Priv, and I liked it so much. I used it for the Gracie Awards. And then I was hosting a big event in Orange County at the end of October. And I thought, gosh, am I going to do my hair and makeup? And really for me, I love doing my own makeup. You know that. Mm-hmm. But I hate
you're really good at it.
I hate doing my hair. I hate it. And so it never lasts when I do it. It always, it's not good. So I always prefer to get a real blowout and get my hair done. And so I used Priv for that. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll have them do my makeup too. And I actually even used them this time for a manicure pedicure.
Oh, so they do everything.
They do everything. They'll do massage. They do piercings. Like, I don't know who does, like, gets on a whim, decides that they want to have like a piercing from Priv.
Okay.
But they do all sorts of things. I'll actually give you a list of some of the services. I'm a big fan. They're not paying for this, by the way. And there's another website that's very similar. It's called Glam Squad, which is the one I've learned
heard
about
that
first.
Yeah.
But when I put in the destination, so whether it was in Florida or whether it was in Beverly Hills, even, and even in Orange County, they just don't have as many people and as wide a service area. So I really struggled finding someone that could help me. So I started like just really doing my own deep dive in my own Googling and research to see if there was any other service like Glam Squad. And that's where I found Priv. And you download the app, it's free. If you use Priv, they do hair, nails, makeup, massage, facials, spray tan, ear piercing, fitness. So they'll even do like private yoga classes and such, men's grooming, and then they have bridal services as well. So for brides and bridesmaids. So they really offer pretty much everything that you could possibly want, whether it's for you individually or even a small group of people. But what's great, so if you download the app and you go into hair, and they have blowout services. They'll offer you if you want an updo or if you want beach waves, you select what you want. They'll even do braided styles and all that stuff. They'll even give you haircuts in your home if you can't get out. So I would think that this would be a really good option if you have like an aging parent who maybe doesn't want to go outside, or if you have an event that's coming up and you just want someone to come to you or to your hotel. It's a really great service, and it's expensive, but it's not overly expensive. For my blowout and just for a blowout, it's $60, which is not terrible. Bad. For a blowout with hot tool styling, so if you want to do curls or anything like that, $75.
That's not bad at all.
It's not. If you want to do an updo, it's
I thought you were honestly going to say it was in the hundreds.
No,
it's not bad at all.
They have two levels of service. So they have elite stylists and regular stylists. I haven't had any experience with the elite level, which is more expensive, but everybody that I've used on the basic level has been fantastic. And I've got to tell you that the hair that they do, especially in the case in Florida, and then just most recently in Orange County, the blowout has lasted, and the beach waves that they have done have lasted. I have really fine, finicky hair. And as you know, Florida is not necessarily like a dry and arid climate. So it's very humid.
You're my favorite LA girl, and you guys can't handle humidity. And then you go to Florida and you're in a swamp.
Right. And so I was so worried that I would just look awful at the end. My curls lasted the entire night. And I was outdoors in the moisture. It was crazy. My hair in Orange County, I didn't do quite the amount of curls. I did loose beach waves with the blowout, and it lasted all evening long. And I was working. I was actually hosting and meeting people and sweating. You get hot when you're up and moving around.
Yeah.
And it lasted. So I'm just a huge, huge fan of
So they must be pulling in some good stylists to work, on this platform.
And I've heard that some of them, it's very similar, I think, to like Uber and Lyft, where people, once they are in that system, they work maybe for both. The lady who was doing my makeup had just started working for Glam Squad as well. But I told her how much more how much more I've loved the availability of Priv. And she said, yeah, we hear that all the time. And she does movies. I mean, she gets hired by production companies through Priv to go out and do makeup on sets of movies and TV. I guess if they run out of makeup artists or something like that.
You can get some hot goss while you're there.
Well, all of these ladies that I've had that have done my makeup have worked on celebrities. So it's really cool. And it's a great service. And everybody that I know has been very nice. That have come through, at least, MySpace. And one of them said, I saw your name sitting out there in Orange County, and no one had picked me up yet to be assigned to my blow dryer to my hair. And she goes, I saw you out there. She's like, normally I don't travel to Orange County, but she's like, I wanted to do it for you. She was in Huntington Beach. And so she made the drive, or not Huntington Beach, like Redondo Beach. She made the drive into Orange County just to pick up my business and to do my hair. And now we've connected, and we've sent messages back and forth to each other. So it's really nice. On the makeup side, you can do airbrush makeup. You can do regular makeup with, regular makeup without the airbrush. You can do lashes. You can do no lashes. And again, I think it's pretty reasonable just for pricing, at least in my area. And I'm sure it must change here and there. If you order a makeup uh, in the makeup category, you can do makeup application for $90. You can do
Again,
makeup,
that anything under
not bad.
$100, that is a really good deal. Really good.
Makeup with lashes is 110. If you want to do airbrush makeup, which not a huge fan of, 115.
I did
Airbrush.
the
Did you do it for your wedding?
Yeah. And it looked nice for the wedding, but we got married at the end of June, and it was like hot and muggy that day because it had poured in the morning, and then the sun came out and it was like 88 degrees. So I was impressed that the airbrush stayed, like the makeup didn't move. So that was good. But I don't know that it's necessary.
I don't either.
Yeah.
It's more money, and I don't know if it makes that much difference. It doesn't for me anyway. I'm sure for others, maybe it does. But the airbrush makeup with lashes is 135. So
that
again,
it's a really good deal. And you're in LA or Orange County, right? So you're going to be in a higher end, like that's a more expensive area.
When you figure in Beverly Hills, where we did our Gracie Award at the Beverly Wilshire, the Pretty Woman Hotel, I'm getting my makeup done for $90. That's kind of a deal.
My hair and makeup at the Beverly Hills, at the Beverly Wilshire where we stayed, the Pretty Woman Hotel, like you said, that's the salon that's in the hotel is where I went. My hair and makeup was about $600.
Isn't that so? I ended up paying,
and you were in the privacy of your own hotel room
in my room. I know. And I even had champagne and my robe. And
I should have done that.
I'll do it next time. Not a lot of people know about this. Now, for the first time in Orange County, it's been, you can attest to this. It's been a really busy 3 weeks for me.
Yes.
And I feel like that's the story of my life. It's been a busy 3 weeks. Yeah, always.
Yeah.
But I hadn't had a chance to get my nails done. And so I decided that I was going to try them. And sure enough, the sweetest girl came to my room. She brought her little foot spa. She brought everything. She did a gel manicure and a regular pedicure. And
I like the color, by the way. It's like a burgundy.
It's a really pretty burgundy.
Yeah, I love that.
I will say I'm
going to do that for Thanksgiving, actually. I'm going to do burgundy.
Like a really dark, pretty dark color. And it's lasted. The manicure has lasted even through all of these events and craziness that I've been going through. She didn't have the biogel, which, I'm a fan of. So that's, one thing you could probably get at a salon in a better way. I don't know if I would always use them for a manicure pedicure. The girl that came was about the sweetest thing on the planet. She was so nice and friendly and wonderful, but you are limited to the choices that they bring. She contacted me before she arrived to my room, and she asked me what colors I was interested in. And so I said I was interested in burgundies and maybe some neutrals. And she brought a nice array of colors to choose from, but she didn't have matching gel for my fingers and regular toenail polish. So my feet and my hands don't quite match, which is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But I do.
But that's a good option.
Like to match.
Yeah. And that's a really good option if, because you have 17 jobs, and we always joke about how much you're working. Like you work more hours of the day than you don't.
Right.
And so if you don't have time to do a mani-pedi at your regular place leading up to an event, that's a great option. That's very like photo shoot. You always see, whether you're watching the Kardashians or like any model, on set at a magazine shoot, they do the nails, like, they're just sitting there getting hair, makeup, and nails done all at the same time.
And it knocks it out.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great option to have if you're running kind of behind schedule and you need something done. That's a great option. I love that. And how much are the nails?
So the nails are great. And it seemed a little pricey, but when you think about how much you're already paying at a nail salon and you're doing this privately in your own home, a spa pedicure, $70.
That's not bad.
Not bad. A normal pedicure in a salon would probably be about 40, 45 maybe. And then manicure and spa pedicure together, which is I did the gel manicure and spa pedicure. So it was $150 for both of those.
What was the gel manicure? How much was that?
They don't let you do it alone. So you have to either do a spa pedicure for $70, manicure, spa pedicure for $115, or gel manicure and spa pedicure for $135.
That's interesting. So you have to do a mani-pedi. They don't give the option. Well, you know what? I guess if they figure that a nail stylist is going to drive that far, you might as well do more than just a manicure. I guess that makes sense.
I'm kind of into trying the tan too. Next time they have a custom airbrush tan for $65, and then a rapid airbrush tan whatever that is for 75.
The rapid, I've done the rapid. The rapid just means that you don't have to let it sit on you as long.
Oh, okay.
Like if you need 8 hours for a regular one before you shower, the rapid could be anywhere between 2 and 4 hours, depending
before
on how
you
much
shower.
Yeah, how much developing you want to do. But I have friends who travel for, just different events and stuff, and they work in the media and magazines, and they live and die by the traveling airbrush tan.
I think it's kind of cool though. And especially if you're a little bit like a nervous Nelly and you've never done airbrush tanning and you don't know what the salon's going to be like, at least you're kind of in your own space on your own territory.
They pop up a little tent.
Yeah.
Like in your hotel room, and you stand in the little tent booth thing. They either airbrush you I guess that one is a full airbrush. There's one that's also a portable, like, it's not a Mystic tan machine, but it's like a portable machine thing. So like I guess it's cheaper than having a technician actually there applying and everything. But I like to have an airbrush with a person because they can see more.
And they know how to make it look good.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you don't get like, orange ankles and like, you know what I mean? There's always,
it doesn't get caught up on your knees or your elbows and all of that. Yeah, no, I would really, I think I'm going to try that next time if I have a big event.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really cool, I mean, it makes you feel sort of like a movie star with this app. They should be sponsoring our podcast.
I know, right?
Because we're such big fans. But
we will be tagging them. Rest assured, we will be tagging them and begging them to sponsor us.
A 60-minute session for yoga is $65. So where can you get a private yoga lesson for $65?
I mean, this is I didn't realize that they included yoga and other stuff, that's interesting. But you know what? A lot of people travel, they go on vacation, and they want, maybe they don't want to just trust the hotel to, give them a local yoga instructor. They want to book through an app where there are reviews and accountability.
And I'd imagine during COVID, maybe this app really took off. I don't know when it started or how long it's been around. But if you think about it, with all the salons and spas that were closed down for such a long time in many states, and even gyms and things, if you really needed something done, and how many of us were stuck during COVID trying to peel our own gel manicures off, or, it was a nightmare. And this was something that you probably could still do legally, I'd imagine. I don't know. We'd have to find out from someone with the company, but I'd imagine you could still do that. Yeah. And have one-on-one service with somebody instead of worrying about going someplace.
Yeah. And I actually think, now that I'm thinking back, we did a girls' weekend. Some of my girlfriends from high school, we went down to Maryland to my friend Dominique's house, and she used one of these apps. It might actually have even been Priv, and she booked massages for us. So this like really super nice local guy who happened to live in the neighborhood, we all it was 4 girls and this one guy in the house.
Poor guy.
And so we were literally we all had plans on how we were going to murder him. If he attacked us, we all had weapons. And he was like the sweetest little hippie guy.
Yeah.
Who was, weighed 90 pounds. We all could have taken him on our own, individually.
Totally.
And we literally had a plan to murder this poor guy.
I went on a tour of Antigua once with a butter knife in my bag because I didn't know if I could trust the guy from our hotel that was taking us.
Right. I mean, you never know. You hear these crazy stories on Dateline.
I don't know what I was going to do with the butter knife. I mean, it wasn't exactly the scariest tool. Maybe, I could have slathered lotion on him or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But I'm actually, the more I think about it, I think she did use Priv actually. And so he came highly rated.
You can rate each person after they've come, and you can rate them for cleanliness, for service, for all of that. But they'll tell you who your person is, who they've matched you with when your appointment is confirmed. And when it is, they send you a picture. They send you a link, usually to their Instagram. They'll give you information. So at least you know who you're looking for, and it's not some strange random situation. And the other thing is
I like that because you know how many unsuspecting, especially younger women, have been picked up by an Uber or a Lyft. I don't know that it happened with Lyft, but it seems to have happened a lot with Uber.
And I think especially if you're inviting someone to your home or to your hotel room, you want to know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
And I think they can rate you too. I know. I think they can rate you too as a customer so that you're not a weirdo luring people in as well. So I think they really do put an emphasis on safety. And then the other really cool thing is if you have multiple people who are available to you. So if there are 5 artists available, sometimes there's only one. So you just kind of take who's available. But if there are 5, you can kind of preview their Instagram and see what their work looks like and then pick the one that you want. And I think that's nice too, because not everybody has the same idea as to what, it matches your style.
Right.
Essentially.
Right. I love that. I think that's fantastic. And I'm assuming Priv is probably in every state.
I know for sure it's in Florida and California. And I think it's got availability around the country. And I would check out Glam Squad too. They don't have as many services. It doesn't appear on their app, but I think it's got to be roughly around the same. And I think the price is the same because I have done a little price shopping. So that one's not overly expensive either, but it just, for me, it hasn't had the availability that Priv has had.
Yeah. It's interesting. I lived in Manhattan for a long time. And when I first started my radio career, which was 2005, that around that time from 2005 to like 2010-ish, like the mid-aughts or whatever they call them, which someone asked me the other day, they're like, what does that even mean? I'm like, I don't know. It's just what they're called. Like I couldn't even explain it.
It is. It's like, and I don't ever think I even used the word aught until the show that we were on together. Our friend Jay, who was on that show, used to always talk, she'd always say aught, aught, aught. And now it's just stuck in my brain. So I say that word a lot more than I used to. It is.
But I just never knew that it was correct. So, but anyway, so from the mid to late aughts in New York City, these types of services like Priv and Glam Squad, they were everywhere. Yeah. It was almost too many. And a lot of the companies went under. And I think it's an interesting business model because like in New York City, you figure, okay, everyone comes in and out. There are millions and millions of hotel rooms, right?
Super transient. Yeah. People are in and out.
It seems like a no-brainer, but maybe there were just too many of these services, or maybe people didn't know at the time, like maybe they were just too ahead of their time.
Well, but the technology has caught up. This is a lot easier now because it's all app related. And in 2005, we still probably had our pink Motorola flip phones, right?
Right.
Or was that just me?
No, I think it was all of us. And you still had to go online probably or call. And if I have to call a place, then I'm not. Like, I don't even call for reservations. Like, if I can't book it on Open Table, I'm not eating at your establishment. Like, do not make me call you. But that's just
boundaries, damn it.
Yeah, that's just me, I guess. But I'm so happy that you've been able to use Priv a couple times now. And when you use Glam Squad, you'll have to definitely give us an update on how that went. But my next event, I'm thinking, which I don't have anything on the books yet, but when it comes, I'm going to do it, right?
You should try it. It's so luxurious to not have to. For me, it feels luxurious anyway to have someone do my hair for me, to have someone do my makeup for me. Not because I don't love doing my makeup, I do, but to not have to fiddle around with my eyelashes. They just, they do it all for you, and it's really it's nice. And if you're specific, and this is what I think the best success, no matter if you're going to get a haircut or whatever. Be really specific about what you want, but then also let them adjust that for what's reality. Because it's really easy for someone with fine straight hair to walk into a salon and say, I want, curly, beautiful spiral curls. And it's probably not going to happen, but you can tell them what you're looking for so that they can meet your expectations. Yeah. And for me with the makeup, I always tell them to go wild. Like, I don't care because I wear makeup every day. So there's nothing that's too outlandish. And so I said that, and the lady who did my makeup for this work event that I was at gave me these really beautiful wild lashes. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my gosh, this is right the day before Halloween, by the way. I said, I feel like I'm dressed up for Halloween. Can you take? And she's like, I knew they were a little much. She's like, I just love them. Notch? You have beautiful eyes. She's like, I really just wanted to use these. She's like, I have no problem. She took them off. She said, you can keep these, wear them tonight. If you go out to dinner, put them on. They're more dramatic. And then she gave me another pair of lashes for free that were more appropriate for a work event and didn't look like I was a Spider Woman.
Yeah. The lash thing is interesting because even when you look in the mirror after you have them done and it looks like it's too much, the first photograph you see of yourself, you're like, oh, you can't really see them.
No, like it's amazing. It is the difference that lashes make in photographs. Yeah. But every once in a while I have to wear my glasses to see. And the lashes she had put on were so big. I'm pretty sure they would have been peeking out.
That would have been an interesting visual.
Yeah, it was just not quite right.
That's funny. So the Priv app, Priv, is what we've been talking about. So you can just download that onto your phone, give it a try. It has Jen's stamp of approval.
Sure does.
And I mean, I can't wait to try it again. The convenience of that, like a friend of mine just had to travel to outside of Nashville, like 45 minutes outside of Nashville in Tennessee to a wedding, and there's nothing there. Like it was a Hampton Inn and that was it. And so she had a real problem trying to book hair and makeup. And this is kind of like, I have to ask her if she actually ended up using an app, but the convenience. See, like I could have my hair blown out at my salon, but they don't do makeup.
Right.
So then
it's nice to get it done at the same time.
Yes. Yes, it is. So yeah, I think for anybody, like I got spoiled by living in New York City. You were, everything is at your fingertips in LA as well. But if you're not in a major metropolitan area, this is such a great problem solver for any kind of event. I love it.
For sure. And especially because it travels with you. When you go someplace and you don't know the area, and you don't know what's right, what's good, how close you are to your hotel, it's nice that it really comes to you, because when you're getting ready for something, you don't want to stress about having more traffic to deal with or having to take your clothes with you to change into. And the convenience alone, I think, makes it a really, really great value.
Yeah. And look, I don't know a single woman who has ever gone out of town to a wedding and has gone to a local salon where they didn't have to like brush their hair out after.
Absolutely.
I had to do that for my brother's wedding. We were down in Laguna Beach and I went to a blow dry kind of bar, like I forget, it wasn't even a chain. It was just a place in Laguna, and it was super cute and everything. And the guy ruined my hair. Like it looked so bad. And I was just mortified. And I barely even made it back to the hotel room. I had to wet my hair and dry it again. Like it was it was so bad. It's a total waste of money. And then, you're stressing even more, you're trying to get to a wedding. It's like, So I love this idea. I have never found any luck out of town, even reading reviews of salons. You just don't know what you're going to get.
And even in town, I do a lot of events in LA. But just having to take that extra step to go somewhere, and I love dry bar. It's great.
Oh yeah.
But as you mentioned, you have to get it done. Then you have to go to your hotel room. Then you have to put your makeup on. Then you have to get dressed. Here, it really cuts out all those extra steps. And you don't, because by the time I do all that, my hair has fallen. So everything that's great.
Exactly it. Right. And so, and then you're just like, all right, well, what's the point of me even going and traveling and doing all that? Yeah. I think that this is fantastic. I'm so glad you brought this up as a topic, because it's something that you don't probably think you need until you use it. And then you're like, how could I ever not do this again?
Exactly.
It is one of those luxuries. And
great
I'm honestly,
by
really,
the way, if you want to give someone a massage or a facial, and we're thinking holiday already,
that's a great idea.
Or birthday or anniversary gift.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to do.
And I have to say, I'm very impressed with the pricing. That is way better than I ever would have thought. Because I would have just assumed you're paying for the convenience and it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But yeah, I love that. That's fantastic. Well, so you guys, we will post the link and everything if you want to check out the Priv app. And after hearing Jen's multiple experiences with them that were super positive. So we'll post that on @BeautyPopPod. And that is us on Instagram. You can send us an email. We got a request to talk about lip plumpers. So we're going to be doing that in the future. So if there's a topic or a product that you want us to review or talk about, drop us a line at beautypoppod@gmail.com. And of course, you can always DM us on Instagram. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you next time.